This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, Reds fans, and welcome to another installment of the Reds POSTCAST, brought to you by our wonderful friends here on the Locked On Podcast Network, and of course, on Locked On Reds. I'm Tim Daniel. I've been covering the Reds in podcast form for 5 seasons at publications such as Late Night Reds and the Riverfront. You can check me out here on the Locked On Reds stream after every single Reds game, and my good friends Jeff Carr and Steve Offenbaker Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. Today's episode is brought to you by our good friends at Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first order. On today's show, we're going to discuss what is the catch, because now we're doing the same thing we do in football. We're going to say, where did the offense go? Because the offense is falling apart. And Brady Singer was all right, I guess, today. So we'll get into his start as well. But guys, we're going to do something a little different tonight on the POSTCAST. I brought a friend.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Hi, Steve.
What's happening, everybody? Wow, live after a game. I love it. I'm here for it.
Steve Offenbaker, who I just mentioned, and where you can check out Monday through Friday on the Locked On Reds podcast on this very feed, is the first ever guest of the POSTCAST. And Steve texted me because he's very fired up about segment 1 and said, I need to be on the show tonight. And I said, absolutely, you do.
Oh, I am fired up. Listen, this may not necessarily fit into the lane of what the regular Locked On Red show will cover for you guys tomorrow. And by the way, that show is going to be another 3 p.m. episode. I'm not sure if we're doing it live or recording it, but there's some recording conflict. So Jeff and I are doing that at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. You'll get your next Locked On Reds. But I wanted to jump in tonight and talk about this catch, non-catch. You're absolutely right. It's more of the NFL nonsense. And here's the deal. You've got an organization that is Major League Baseball that is an absolute clown show run by a clown. Manfred hates baseball, has an organization that can't even decide anymore what the heck a catch is. Here's what I know. According to the letter of the law, and don't come at me with the rule book. I know you guys. I can read Baseball Rules Academy from Chris Welsh, just like the rest of you. It says voluntary, involuntary. I get it. Here's what I know. He voluntarily caught the ball. He voluntarily crashed into the wall. He voluntarily broke both his radio and ulna. They're both broken. You can see it on the replay. And then he voluntarily tried to get his glove off his hand because his arm was broken. All of those things were voluntary. If you use the application of the rule like The Office in New York did with Clown Show Manfred behind the scenes, if you use the letter of the law that was applied to this, then Callihan could have caught that ball, stood up, run it all the way into the pitcher's mound, and slipped on the rosin bag and dropped the ball, and that's a safe call. That's an inside the park home run. But the umpires don't wait that long to make the call. We saw it from TJ Friedl later in the game. He made a diving catch on the right field line, and they called him out immediately. So a catch is a catch is a catch. It's time to start applying some common sense. And I know that's a big ask with Major League Baseball. That's a big ask with the clown that's running this organization to use some common sense. But it was a catch by any measure of a catch other than Major League Baseball's measure of a catch. Even the NFL would have got this right because there was an athletic move. He tried to protect himself. He tried to keep himself from breaking bones in his body when he crashed into the wall in the left field corner. That's an athletic move. In the NFL, that's a catch. We've reached a time where Roger Goodell has become my friend. I don't know what's going on, Tim. I'm losing my mind.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So Steve bringing the heat. So I love to see it. What do I even have to add to the first segment? You just clearly knocked out the first segment. Well, of course, I'll add that. We hope nothing but the best in the speedy recovery for Tyler Callihan, who was bounced. He broke his left forearm. The
good news is those are easy to fix. He'll get a good ortho doctor to put that back together. They will wrap that puppy up in a cast. Those bones heal stronger. So that bone will heal stronger than it was before once it's all put back together and done.
Yeah. So the thing that's really funny about this is you and I are having this conversation. On the broadcast, John Sadak and Jeff Brantley are also like, yeah, that's a catch. The Braves broadcast is like, yeah, that's a catch. The Braves radio broadcast is like, yeah, that's a catch. And Major League Baseball review crew in New York is like, no, it's not a catch.
Get out of here with that.
And then Francona's response of just walking out there like dumbfounded, which I know a lot of people wanted him to throw his hat and stomp and scream and all that. And I'm fine that he didn't do that. But I'm like him. I was like, well, Doug, when he walks out, he says dumbfounded.
Yeah, the act. So this is interesting because the act of him leaving the dugout post the safe call is an ejection. It's an ejection. So
Ryan Price got ejected in that.
I think even the umpires knew this was a clown show. They were like, okay, Terry, come here. We're going to tell you. Yeah, we know. I guarantee if there was a hot mic out there, it would have been like, listen, Terry, we know it was a catch. You know it was a catch. Everybody knows it was a catch. New York said it wasn't a catch. So our hands are tied. You know our hands are tied. So either sit down or get ejected. And Terry was like, all right.
Yeah. But just absolute. We can't say the words that we really feel about this because we.
I did on Twitter. If you want to know what I really think, go check out my X feed.
Yeah, we like our job, so we have to kind of make sure we watch how we put this out there. But yes, absolutely clown show, extremely controversial, doesn't make any sense. Hope the best for Tyler Callihan. And how excited are you and Jeff to talk about Will Benson getting called up tomorrow?
Oh my God, dude. That's going to be quite a conversation. Jeff's going to break out the pumper car. That's what he does. He's going to break out the little one-man Will Benson pumper car train show on the hype train. And I'm going to be like trying to rein him in. But it exposes the need. If you listen to today's show that Jeff and I did live, Tim, we talked about the fact that when the All-Star break gets here, when a trade deadline is discussed, it has to be a right-handed power hitting outfielder. It has to be an outfielder. I don't know now with this that they can wait till the trade deadline.
I agree.
Immediate need might be to go out and get an outfielder at this point, because as I see that we're going to be talking about in the next segment, the offense, where the heck did it go?
Where did the offense go? And we will talk about that right after this. Ever check your bank account and wonder where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, flying here from Hawaii every week, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. You just stop managing your money and start building your wealth. It's really wonderful. You can put all your bank accounts, all your investments, your credit cards, your personal loans, your auto loans, your mortgage. You can put it all in one place and keep track of it there to make sure you know where everything is and how everything's going. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first order. That's monarchmoney.com. Locked on MLB for half off your first year. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, designing, and more. Experts ready to help you take your business to the next level. Upwork gives business flexibility by connecting them with the top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. Whether you need extra hands for a project or a long-term partner, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. If you need help with a marketing campaign, Upwork can connect you with a freelance expert who delivered incredible results. Those who know me know I work in the travel agent world as well, and Upwork helped me find the perfect thing to help me sell my Disney vacations to my clients. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's Upwork.com, UPWRK.com, to connect with top talent and grow your business today. Now, Steve, I get to say this with you here with me today, and I love that it's like the roles are reversed. So normally I'm on your and Jeff's show. So thank you so much to our everydayers here on the Locked On Reds postcast and the Locked On Reds feed, where you can check us out for free each and every day. No paywalls behind it. You can check us out here on YouTube, where you can subscribe and get my show after every game, and Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds, or your podcast app of choice. Take us to the gym, take us in the car, take us on your road trips, take us to Disney World. I actually would prefer you took us to Disney World, to be honest. But that's where we digress, and we will go ahead and get on with it here. This is where the game kind of had turned on its axis.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So Steve kind of broke it down. It was the catch, no catch, non-catch. Is it a catch? Whatever, a catch was the turning point in tonight's game. Steve, the offense has gone away, to put it nicely, these last couple days. After scoring 6 runs on Saturday, even in a loss to Washington, they go out there yesterday on Flying Pig Day in Cincinnati and score 1 run on 4 hits. Tonight, to quote the great Harry Doyle, played by the great Bob Uecker, 1 hit is all we got, 1 GD hit. You can't say that on the air. And no one's listening. But the Cincinnati Reds tonight, bad news. There's a lot of bad news. 1 hit. Good news, not as many strikeouts and 5 walks. Bad news, did nothing with it. And I don't know how your guys' live chats are. I normally catch it afterwards, but I'm seeing a lot of calls for Chris Valaika's head already, and I think we need to calm it down and pump the brakes there. Realistically, the offense has been very good for the most part, for like the last 2 or 3 weeks. But today is poopy a fair word to say? I think poopy's a fair word to say.
It was not fun. And, it's flashbacks of the postseason that the Reds were in against the Braves, where they went 18 innings without anything happening, right? Or more than 18 innings. The Braves give me PTSD. Yep. And, Valaika does not need to lose his job. There are a lot of guys hitting the ball really, really well for this Reds team right now. They're just in a rough patch. They've lost 5 of their last 7 at a time that they really can't afford to have lost 5 of their last 7. This is a team that needs to stack wins. Jeff and I talked about this over the last couple shows. These are the times you stack wins, because there is a rough stretch coming. This Brave series starts a incredibly rough stretch of baseball between now and up to 7 games before the All-Star break, where they're playing really, really good teams, except for the White Sox, pretty much all the rest of the way. So they have to win these games. You look around at what guys are doing. Jose Trevino hitting the ball well, hitting over 300. In limited opportunity, Santiago Espinal still hitting over 300. After today's game, he was 1 for 3 with 1 strikeout. He's still hitting 341 right now. So Santiago Espinal making the most of his opportunities. TJ Friedl in the leadoff spot dropped to 263 today. Ellie De La Cruz dropped to 261. His on-base streak is broken. There's still time to recover from this. I'm not ready to call for anybody's head. Right. I'm just ready for this team to try and demonstrate some form of consistency. And with the consistency needs to be health. So they need the health to get the consistency. They haven't had the health, so they don't have the consistency. They need to take what they've got right now and try to stabilize things, because again, this is a very, very rough stretch. They need to play 500 baseball between now and those last 7 games before the All-Star break. Then they need to take 5 of 7. If they can do that, this team will be a few games over 500 heading into the second half, an opportunity to add at the trade deadline, and they're still cooking with gas. It's nowhere near time to push the panic button, but they do need to start figuring some things out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, today wasn't Brady Singer's best day. We're going to get into that in the next segment, but he pitched fine. I'm not saying he was great, but he wasn't terrible. They probably could have won in a regular day with the way he pitched if their offense showed up. And they didn't have someone break their wrist trying to catch a ball that was a catch. I'm not dropping it. But also in that same point, where they were when their offense was striving really well. Obviously, the first thing people point to is Austin Hayes was there, but they hit with runners in scoring position really well there for a couple weeks. That was where it was going. Last couple days, completely brutal. Leaving a lot of dudes on base. Tonight, they lost 4-0. They left 5 guys on base. Not saying you're going to score every single guy you leave on base, but at some point, those numbers start to look like you need to get a little better with that situation. So, if there's times where I'm on here all the time, if a guy comes against the Reds and pitches really well and has his day, I tip my hat to him. I didn't really think even with a 1-hitter that Jason Schauber tonight was unbelievable. It wasn't like I was like, oh my God, he's painting corners, he's hitting his spots. I was like,
well, he walked 4 guys. He walked 4 dudes in this game. The Reds just didn't take advantage at all.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I'm really frustrated. And I see the chat's frustrated too. We have Larry, always a ray of sunshine over here. Larry Wall.
What's up, Larry?
Always in a good mood. CM, this is late for you, man. Normally I hear from you in the second inning before when I have 2 hours before I got to go live. Carrie's always here and she's losing it. Carrie? Matthew Nelson says that we should trade for Stu Fairchild. I don't.
Oh, Jesus.
Can we oh my God. It's not that bad, guys. It's bad, but it's not that bad. I mean, I don't think I want him getting at bats over Gavin Lux. Okay. So, oh, goodness gracious. And also, not just a great day. But hey, we got one more segment in here, and I have to pick somebody, I guess. So I did find someone to be our Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Steve, I went with Luis May because he was the guy that looked the most impressive of anyone on the field tonight. When you get one hit, you're kind of drawing straws there.
Okay, 2 strikeouts, 1 inning, solid work. I love what Luis May's doing. I hope he continues to stick around.
Me too.
That 99 to 101 mile an hour sinker, man, that thing is just ugly. Jeff and I talked about this after May Day when he made his debut. It's ugly. I don't know when that pitch is on at 100 miles an hour. I don't know how you're supposed to hit that. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that. It's amazing. It's a great pitch.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the tendency that you've read about him is he has a tendency to get a little wild. Especially that's what you kind of saw a lot in the minors and spring training. Fall league was kind of really where he had his big breakout to the national audience, like us. So, but yeah, I'm a big fan, and what I've seen from him so far has been really, really fun. Let's talk about Brady Singer to wrap the show up today, because I have to find some way to kind of turn I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's talk about Brady Singer and watch as Steve hijacks your show. I stole your segue in the last commercial break, and now I'm stealing the segment. But Brady Singer, you're absolutely right. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. We're going to talk about that. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, home run allowed. We're going to talk about that.
Right.
Here's the deal. If it wasn't a catch, it's an error. It was in his glove until he hit the wall. It's an error. Those are unearned runs. They cannot both be not a catch and earned runs. They can't both be. It can't be. He either dropped it, error, or he caught it, and it's an out. This makes no sense. This is just, it makes no sense.
I have a feeling that that's going to be one that in a couple days, they say the score could potentially be changed. And his ERA looks a little lower.
For sure. Those have to be unearned runs. It's one or the other. It's a catch or it's a drop, but it's not a hit. So I don't understand why that was a no-brainer. I don't get what's going on down there in Atlanta. It just is more of MLB buffoonery is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. They might have visited some certain locations that are pretty famous in Atlanta before the game that we've heard people seem to enjoy, professional athletes particularly, that we would not be seen in, of course.
And by the way, if this is your first time seeing me, I'm not usually this worked up. I mean, I do get worked up. Everydayers will know that Steve is good for a good rant every once in a while, and I'm pretty worked up today. I don't usually get this worked up.
I said, yes, absolutely.
But I was on fire after that call because there's so many things wrong with it. Like, there's so many things in this that don't make sense that even if you're a Braves fan, you got to look at this and be like,
right,
I don't get it.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. But we are getting close to time, so let's go ahead and get to the end of this. Where unfortunately, the Cincinnati Reds do suffer their 3rd straight loss tonight, falling to 18-18. The Atlanta Braves are winners 4-0 tonight. Your winning pitcher, Asa Smith-Shawyer, he is now 2-2 with a 3 ERA. Your losing pitcher is Brady Singer. He is 4-2 with a 3.66. I totally skipped it. The Atlanta Braves, 4 runs on 7 hits, no errors. The Cincinnati Reds, no runs, 1 hit, no error. The Reds are back at it tomorrow, and we got 2 southpaws taking the hill as Andrew Abbott takes the hill for the Reds. He is 2-0 with a 2.84 ERA, going against the legend that is Chris Sale, who is 1-3 with a 4.84. First pitch will be at 7:15, so I'll be back here tomorrow probably about 9:45, 10 or so. Steve, before we get out of here, even though this is really your guys' channel and you guys just let me hang out on it, make sure you give a shout out where people can find you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna be back in the feeds tomorrow with a regular Locked On Reds programming note. I just was looking, got a text back from Jeff. We're gonna record and post around 3:30 Eastern tomorrow. Not going to be live. We're live today, live now. We will record and post. We'll be late in your feeds tomorrow afternoon, getting you set up for game 2 of this series with the Atlanta Braves. Make sure you click subscribe. We're on every audio feed out there. If we're not on one you want us to be on, reach out to Jeff Carr at Jeff Carr, Jeff with 3 F's because he can't spell. He went to Alabama for college. He will get it on the thing that you need it to be on. Otherwise, subscribe, like, notification bell right here on YouTube to get Jeff and I Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. Tim, 162 post-game lives this season in 2025. Plus, whenever something amazing or exciting or breaking news happens, Tim will be live, Jeff will be live, I will be live. Maybe all 3 at the same time, separate. You never know. We're going to figure that out when the time arises.
Those episodes are fun when we do get the 3 of us together. So maybe we'll do one together. No, I don't know. first week of August in Tennessee.
Oh, sounds good. Bristol, baby. Bristol,
We'll
baby.
figure something out. We'll keep you guys posted. Everyone, thank you
You
so
and
much.
Ricky Bobby. Me, you, and Ricky Bobby.
Love it. I would absolutely love it. On behalf of Steve Offenbaker, on behalf of the Locked On Reds crew, I'm Tim Daniel. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight, and I will see you tomorrow.